And side, starting off this best of 5, we will have our blue Protoss player from Storm Gaming, MaxPax. In the top right-hand side, the red Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion, this is ByuN. Alright then, game 1. Let's see how things will go. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see what our day will bring us. Let's hope for some good games. We had some awesome games yesterday. A lot of, obviously, long games and lots of PvT and stuff. So, quite a lot of that. Hoping for more of the same. I have no idea what this is about, but all good. A little bit confused. There's DCI probe. I'm gonna go out across to the other side of the map. Go on a little bit of a journey out to the other side here, just to get things started, and obviously get a little bit of scout information going in the early stages. So, just getting a little bit of info, getting this started up, and seeing where things are gonna go in the game number 1. Next is on the natural. Pylon going down. I'm just gonna be seeing that probe moving up to the main base. Probe heads down to the bottom and just head on in and see what exactly we can do. As it is an in-grace expansion from the Terran player, that is absolutely the expectation here. There's no surprises about that. Don't think anyone should be shocked. We've seen this repeatedly at this stage. This is just the way that you open up these games. So that shouldn't really be much of a surprise at all, as you do have our factory coming on in. And we'll see what ByuN exactly wants to open with in terms of his overall macro and his overall plan to try and get some damage done and hopefully make some progress here in these early stages. There is an adept of MaxPax starting to head across to the other side of the map, so away it goes with the shade coming through. Obviously, this is why you kind of build that in-base expansion, why it's so nice to be able to do this, because now you don't have to deal with any of this Protoss pressure. You don't have to worry about this first adept at all. It's not a problem. You can just kind of get on with your life. Yeah, it can poke up at the front, but it's just not going to achieve very much. Marines can sit behind the wall off as well very safely, and you just don't lose anything in this process, which is a really nice feeling. So it definitely feels pretty great, as you do see the one Marine over here getting some scouting information and is getting nibbled away at by a probe or two. As, yeah, really just looking for some scouting, as he's actually going to get into the main. No, the probe gets the zap. It's a robo first out of MaxPax, and MaxPax already trying to find quite a bit of, presence on the map, get some damage done. He's moved across from the orbital command on the natural as well, so get that into location as we've been expecting. And the tech lab is going down on the factory as well, so just getting that started. As we do have a few Marines, a couple of Widow Mines, all getting set for a bit of a medevac drop, and look to try and apply some further pressure here, seeming to be the current plan of action. Let's follow our medevac drop as it goes out across the map. Or will it? Because it's going to walk into this prism. Definitely going to create a little bit of an interesting start. Medevac going to take some damage straight away. MaxPax has just warped in, as we do move the Marines into position to try and deal with this harassment. And the prism obviously can micro pretty nicely, and this is going to be a couple SCVs pulled just to make sure there's no further warp in. So pretty safe play. And here's our medevac drop. Aims for the natural in the end. MaxPax obviously very aware that this is on the map, and we are just going to relocate to deal with this. The probes pull. Right now, I'm pretty happy just to deny this much mining time. Might even still get 2 workers, would have been quite nice. Retargets a couple times over, that's always annoying. And he's going to refresh the Widow Mine that's in position here. All this time there is the Stalkers on the other side, so that Prism's still finding some harassment power. As we do now see the medevac pulling away and getting out of there. Well, Cyclone gets a lock on, and the Prism continue to take some shots. The Marines actually will be able to get some kills now with the Prism zoned out, so that was actually nice from ByuN, able to get some value towards the tail end of this. Gonna start pulling his units back up toward the main base. He will go from there for sure. Is our starport going to shift across? Barrack's going to be able to drop on over to the tech lab here very soon. And again, Blink just on the way already from MaxPax. That Twilight Council were in a way for these early stages. Because I'm just coming through with the Stalkers and the Adept is going to be seeing an extra racks going down. As we have got our Marine Cyclone joined up together for the moment. This army of MaxPax comes over and really would like to maybe try make a little bit of something happen. Get a depot or so, right? Just some little bit of harassment if at all possible. Go a long way right now. Work is going down as the Raven actually strikes and gets itself 4 kills as well. So the Raven also kind of delivering here. Getting a few of those kills. Auto turrets absolutely able to land and be successful. And this is turning into a pretty reasonable start still again from ByuN. I mean, it was already pretty good from him, I feel like. And now he's getting even more workers. Raven's still alive, most importantly. So if that Raven gets to come back home, that's always good news, right? Because the Raven is a huge unit. Obviously has so much potential. Again, intercepted here by the couple units popping out. And so the Raven actually heads on over to the left. Blink is done, though. And that Raven is unfortunately going to meet its end. So unfortunate for the Raven. That was absolutely a point in time where I think it was kind of meant to be somewhat okay, but doesn't work out like that. Stim combat +1, all of that continuing through. Getting all of these upgrades up and rolling. You have extra Stalkers warping in. MaxPax wants to be somewhat aggressive here. We catch the Observer. What a great start that is as well. Even if you don't need the Observer specifically for high ground vision, just being able to say, oh look, that's you just without the ability to kind of see where my units are positioned. That's great info. He tries to get the Prism here, as obviously the Stalkers will blink back, and a couple of SCVs do start to fall. ByuN does have Stim that he's not using as well, so could have gotten here a lot quicker with some of his reinforcements. That didn't really necessarily have to take so long. Oh, what a spot here from MaxPax as well. He spots this one medevac coming onto the map as well, so he now knows about ByuN's idea of trying to drop. That's obviously very good to know about too, just being able to spot that, shut it down straight away, not let it get off the ground at all. That's a really nice added bonus. Up charge from +1 about to finish. MaxPax heads straight into his fully gateway-focused force. Fourth base will start in the bottom corner, and engineering base and then armory coming down. ByuN looking towards the future of his upgrades here as well, so continuing to think about just where he wants to be at in this game, what he wants to be set up on, and making sure he's going to get there relatively comfortably. And yeah, I mean, MaxPax has a Robo Bay too, so he is looking towards more than just Stalker Zealot, which again I think is always a good thing. Definitely gives you just some better options overall. As the Bioforce starts to move forwards, and just going to be seeing a little bit of a stim in to these Stalkers just to push them back. You've got the Medivacs for healing, so it's not too much of an issue that you're coming in with a stim already. That should get healed up without too many issues to begin with. And this Bioforce will come up and grab a little probe on the Watchtower as well. Now, we do have a drop bottom left. This is just the one Medivac of Marines we saw a bit earlier, and it gets a pylon. Kind of needs to lift this up. I feel like ByuN obviously focusing a lot on the top. Lost about 6 Marines there that he just didn't need to lose. They were absolutely savable. So, yeah, now we will have our forces in the main base. And, well, will this split at least be something that ByuN can take advantage of? I don't think so. I think there's too much in the main for him to really, pounce on. So he is going to end up pushed back. He has a good few units back at home as well. It's not like he's lacking units per se. They're just not here with these drop ships, here with these attacks. So, unfortunately for him, that's obviously becoming pretty expensive. This medevac continues through as well. Just going to come through the bottom side of things for the moment. Yeah, I mean, still just kind of going in 2 directions. That's one of the things about this map. Kind of tough for the pros because the Terran has such easy access to your main base. So it can definitely get a little bit weird in that regard. And then because, if you're able to apply the pressure on the bottom side, you can really take advantage of having access to that main base. That's a lot of the time what the Terran is trying to do, and that's exactly what we're seeing here, for example. We'll stem forward, wants to try and grab a Stalker. Gets it as well. Nice little catch, and these medevacs will go through the top side. A bit of bio, going to head down to the bottom as well. Like I say, it's just this splitting action, which is kind of tough to deal with. There is a Colossus on this bottom side. I really don't feel like this is too good of an army for MaxPax. 1 Colossus, Sentries drop some extra force field a little bit haphazardly though, and this should be a Bioforce that can still get onto that Colossus. There's no battery here. In the main, we are turned away, but I actually think MaxPax actually needs to recall units down to this bottom side, otherwise he's probably going to be in a ton of trouble. I honestly feel like ByuN could have very easily grabbed this Colossus at some point. Now we see this recall coming in. If he can kill, it wasn't even a Colossus recall, just gateway units. There's actually Widow Mines here that are yet to go off. They do connect a little bit, we back away. I just can't believe that this Colossus has survived this entire time. Marauder over here, a little bit of a drop over there, but that's going to be dealt with. MaxPax at least somewhat holding on, making the most of this as the Bio Army is back and again working its way through some different bits and pieces. Now this Colossus should go down. Obviously removing the tech from the game should give ByuN enough of an advantage here. That's going to be seeing our Bio units continue to fight. And a couple of Zealots continue to drop. And we are just going to stim on forward, grab this Colossus as well. Yeah, this is just going to be ByuN with a little bit too much all over the map. Now hitting into a final set of upgrades as well, so that's only improving for him also. Things have just been getting better and better, so it does look as though ByuN is going to be on his way to a Game 1 victory in this opening best of 5 of the day. ByuN and MaxPax. And again, winner of this series plays Ragnarok. Loser of this series plays Kelazur. Spirit also waiting in that section of the lower bracket. A lot of cool matches potentially on the way. I mean, Spirit MaxPax, a match that happened in the group stages that actually sent Spirit first place into the first place in the group through to the playoffs. So that's someone that MaxPax would be looking for revenge for if he ended up down there. Obviously, there's a long way to go. This is just the first game of the day, but what I'm trying to say is there's a lot of cool storylines through the day, whatever happens results-wise. So a lot of cool stuff to watch out for. Should be a very fun day, and this is really just the beginning as ByuN looking for a push that can potentially end the game. Not a lot of splash damage from MaxPax is just the real issue right now. Is yeah, we hit a good EMP as well. Colossi are going to be hurting a little bit. Widow Mines will get to go off on a few Zealots. Maybe not the best connections we've ever seen. An extra Colossus gets a chance to come and show up here and help out a little bit. Just going to trade with a few Stalkers there a little while. ByuN still just reproducing a lot of the tech units, which you're looking for in games like this, and just getting the ghost count up, a few extra Vikings. These are all things that will help massively. We do have EMPs still available here as well if you want to refresh on the Colossi. Just get rid of some of these Zealots a bit more easily. Both the ghosts will die, however, as ByuN, as he stood here a little bit too long without reinforcing. He is now going to start getting to the point where he can jump on Colossus, though, and that's obviously always a good point. There's no Zealots left to protect. There's nothing to keep this army away any longer. And that's why ByuN is continuing to leap forward onto these Colossi, cleaning these out, and looking to get himself a pretty nifty cleanup here. As the Observer, the Zealots, the Colossus continue through to the bottom side. Bioforce will stim again. Zealots still taking masses of damage. Bit of Bio on the bottom side from ByuN. Going to move down the south as we will come forward. Bioforce will clean up this base. This Nexus will go down. And this is pretty much going to be, I believe, our first game of the day. It has just been going more and more so in ByuN's favor. MaxPax just doesn't have the tech he needs to survive fights, right? When you only have Colossus, it's just not scary, because once the Zealots run out, the Terran army just jumps on Colossi. If there's Disruptors there, then obviously you can still pull them back with Disruptors, and the Colossi stay very safe, but that just doesn't happen in this situation. And that is the problem, as we are seeing this Bioforce stimming again. I mean, the Super Battery keeping units alive, keeping this fight extended. MaxPax holding on as long as freaking possible. As again, ByuN actually this time hits the Colossus a little bit, but ends up backing away. MaxPax is going to hold. Am I being too forward with my calling of the game? I don't really think so. I think ByuN is... Honestly, if ByuN maybe starts splitting his army again and go in two directions, that could obviously as well be something that MaxPax just can't deal with right now. He's basically just playing 5 Colossus, and... I mean, now he's getting Disruptors out, so there is always going to be something of a chance. Medevacs are completely drained as well, by the way. Low energy, low HP on these guys. Medevacs are kind of something you want to keep alive and keep in fights as well, so that may make it tough for ByuN to actually engage. Can the defensive position here for MaxPax actually give him a chance? As we move forward, the pylon will go down. Supply block for MaxPax here initially. Colossi are ready to fire away as the Medevacs do load up. They go back to the center of the map. It's going to be seeing the Bioforce again through the bottom, looking to try and find just what exactly it can get up to. Again, a few of these ups already taking some hits, and just going to be seeing a little EMP going down as well. We'll have the Colossi continue to drop as, yeah, ByuN just has too much. Yeah, well, kind of what we said a long time ago, kind of what we expected a while ago. MaxPax hung on there as long as possible, but ByuN does have the numbers to take the first game of the day, and he will open this best of 5 with it. Simply for the fact I'd love to see just a whole bunch of non-mirror matchups, basically. So a little bit of bias there, perhaps. Great map now for ByuN, of course. I mean, he won on his opponent's map pick for game number 1, so now he gets his own map pick for game number 2. Waterfall, it's short, it's aggressive, it's a Terran's dream against a Protoss, and it is ByuN in the top right-hand corner of the map. Bottom left is going to be the red Protoss player from Storm Gaming. This is MaxPax. As we get ourselves into game 2, we'll see what he does. Short maps like this, MaxPax usually likes to play somewhat kind of wonky and a bit aggressive early. And that's why I kind of like it when the Terran players actually choose to play a somewhat safe style against MaxPax in these maps. You know, maybe factory and then the expansion, so double gas expands. Just anything that kind of stops the Protoss from being able to be too aggressive straight away because you're not expanding super quick. This, I think, is going to be exactly that, because this is an engineering bay block SCV. So the engineering bay block, that naturally leads you into less minerals to expand, so you are going to go double gas, you are going to build into that a little bit more, for example. So yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense as engineering bay coming online, getting set up, just getting going as the Reaper will begin up in the main base. And just looking to get that up and online. MaxPax chooses to take the third location. Now, this is obviously very funky, because if ByuN is going to end up going... I mean, ByuN actually wants to expand himself, but he's going to be slowed down by the probe. If ByuN had actually gone factory before expand here and double gas, then he could actually really do some things which punish the fact that this is so out of position. So, yeah, ByuN actually ended up just going for the expansion is, I suppose, kind of intriguing. Maybe misses an opportunity, but yeah, a lot of the time, I mean, when these kind of engineering bay blocks first came around, it was actually ByuN who returned from the military and really popularized them in Korea. When these first came around, people would say if you don't go double gas factory, then it's just silly. Like, what's the point if you're just going to one gas expand anyway? Yeah, you slow the Protoss down a bit, but you're slowing yourself down. You want to get that, you know, it just works. It moves more smoothly. It moves way more smoothly if you have the just factory, a double factory or something. God damn, I can't talk 2 words together today. That doesn't even make sense either. If you have the double gas in the factory, it just makes a lot more sense. It just runs better. But over time, people do mix it up, and they have just engineering bay block with the one gas expansion as well. So there's been a few different ways to get things going. Zelda the Stalker gonna harass over here, and we'll poke for some damage. The Reaper just gonna chip away at the Nexus. Nothing really too major to come out of that, of course. Gets an SCV. The Marines continue to fight, dealing a little bit more damage. Widowman actually blows up a Zealot there, so does get rid of the tanking unit at the front. These 2 Stalkers still causing issues. I mean, 3 SCVs dead. Pretty serious. And I mean, considering the fact that you've expanded high ground as well to take this amount of damage, and you've got to float the CC to the low ground too, and that's kind of crazy. That's not really meant to happen, honestly. Definitely a little bit wonky. The Stalker pulls back down the bottom side. Starport still coming online, getting this going. There's that link into the Robo facility as well as we get ourselves set for the latter stages of the early game. Get those upgrades up, that tech structure online, and we'll go from there. Like I say, MaxPax with the damage done, 5 workers is fantastic. Didn't really cost him much to do that either. I think MaxPax just sits and looks at this and says, yeah, very happy with my position right now. Very content with where this game is at for myself. So, yeah, nothing really to be too upset about. Does lose a Stalker here to the Widow Mine at the front. He's maybe not expecting Widow Mine number 2. Now, this group of Stalkers doesn't really look strong enough to really go and make much happen. The Marine count's looking much better. There's still no presence on the map from ByuN. He's still waiting on this medevac. And I wonder, as he's producing tanks, medevac, marine tank, just go push, I think, is the plan. Just get aggressive and pretty much just stay aggressive, I think, is the way he's going to try and play this. The marines come through, they're going to grab a stalker, looking for the other, not quite getting there just yet. Marines is going to pop out. Here come a couple of tanks just making their way out through to the front as well. So also just going to start making their way out down to the south side. Again, tanks, Marines, all of this continuing through for the moment. And once we get in here, and again, Stalker's going to be taking a reasonable amount of damage. There's a couple of tanks still trying to get on through and push on by. Marines want to come up this ramp as well. Going to get rid of one of these Stalkers maybe. I mean, the tank's now siege. Took a little while. The Robo facility's obviously in a pretty nasty position here. The pylon goes down, depowers the Robo, so the Immortal doesn't get out. Uh-oh. We're going straight after the other pylons as well, but there's two that are finishing, so this Robo should get to finish the Immortal. If we don't blast that Immortal down, that does get to live. That will be a part of this upcoming fight, and probably a very important part of it as we get forward. We go for these siege tanks, of course. The Immortal helps with that process very quickly. The medevac has to back away. We've got an extra tank on the low ground. Might just want to get a few shots off, but eating Immortal hits is not going to be pretty at all. Immortal does go low. The tank can probably siege from a fairly safe distance unless ByuN just wants to get away from this, which is not an unreasonable thing to consider. The Stalkers actually blink forward. They chase. They get the tank. Medevac lives. The Marines wanted the Immortal, but it's pulled back nicely as well. This is going to be a full cleanup from MaxPax as ByuN. I still feel like he's pretty okay with this. He forces a rebuild on the Robo facility, which is not exactly cheap. You know, he traded pretty decently. Resource lost is even. And MaxPax's third base hasn't exactly been saturated during this. His own third building right now, the current work account is even as well. So I honestly don't feel like ByuN is too upset with how this goes. I feel like he probably looks at this and says, yeah, you know what? Pretty reasonable, pretty happy with this. His Stalkers blink across. They will grab themselves a work kill. And just going to chip their way through this command center. I mean, if you deny the third CC, that is where ByuN might fall into a little bit more trouble, right? And he's going to try and keep it going. We get the observer. Okay, I mean, ByuN's obviously smart. He says, how do you see my CC? How are you firing at that? And obviously there is an observer there. So spotting that, identifying it, removing it, gets rid of the threat, and we do save the CC for the moment. As, yeah, you know, all said and done, still kind of happy with ByuN's position. Still feels like he's in a pretty reasonable spot. Doesn't feel too crazy or anything for him. As our 4 Stalkers and the Immortal will come back around the frontier and try and get another tank sieged up. That group of Marines just chilling out over here as well. Medevacs will be healing just a little bit. Stim, combat +1. All of this still coming through as well. And drop a CC from ByuN from the high ground down to the low ground. A few Stalkers are again keeping themselves pretty well set up here as our Marines and our tanks get going. Stalkers do pull on away. CC just getting set, and yeah, I mean, getting to a third base definitely not bad for ByuN considering the way he was opening that aggression. If you don't do enough with it, you can pretty much just struggle for the rest of the game, but obviously that doesn't happen at all here. This turns into a very playable spot. Upgrades are finishing for him too, so it really does just continue to be very good. And yeah, I don't really know what MaxPax can do. A little run by actually would be nice. Let's see if ByuN can raise the depot as he can, and I was going to say, he's not too far out on the map. Turning around to get this is not a bad idea. He's close enough to justify turning around and basically picking up a few free zealots. There's a hallucination in the main. Down this side. Storm is not ready yet. This is a horrible time for MaxPax to have to defend. This is going to be a little bit rough for him indeed. It's going to be kind of nasty as, yep, just has to cancel up the 4th base. ByuN getting a really good position over here. ByuN continues to get set and, well, continue to trade. Now Storm is finished up, so you can start to drop these. And oh my goodness, the Storms are magnificent. I feel like ByuN should have been somewhat aware that Prism was lurking forward earlier. MaxPax kind of backed away so soon. Do you not have to question a little bit of what the heck is he doing? I felt like ByuN wasn't quite ready for Storms there, even though I feel like all the signs pointed to it. Maybe just believed he was super successful in his opening and just did more than he really did, so he was in a better position, so he wasn't surprised to see so little ready to go. Could have been it as well. I mean, overall for ByuN, I think still happy, still trading a bit better. Work count's still even. You keep the 4th base from coming up, which, again, keeps the Protoss player from being able to get that better economy, which is a big deal. Absolutely massive part of this as we do warp in an extra round of Zealots. And we already ourselves towards this right-hand side. We get a scan, kill off an observer. This army is pretty much set to go as we move on through. Tank shot already going down. Bioforce ready to fight. We split away. Oh, I was going to say the storms so far haven't been that great, but this storm was very good. Now SCVs are kind of in the middle of all of this. There's a couple of Archons coming in the other side. Can we kill the Prism before the warp in? No, we cannot. And I think that's ByuN actually just dead. Too many SCVs starting to drop. Reinforcements into the fight were a little bit too much, and ByuN does have to tap out GG. A couple of these ladder trades just very, not quite what they needed to be for ByuN, and obviously this position on this fight was not nice either, and just kind of all over the place, while MaxPax, for being the aggressor, was very concentrated on his attack, and again, just getting the reinforcements into the battle helped a lot as well. GG's. 1-1. It's in the bottom right. It is going to be the blue Protoss. Winning that last game, it is MaxPax. Up left, the yellow Terran. Felt like he was honestly doing okay. Just some of the fights, some of the storms were a little bit too good. Just not quite positioned well enough, ready for that last fight. ByuN loses out on this advantage that he had. And like I say, we go to a 1-1 scoreline on the board here today. In our opening best of 5. Against 4 matches today, guys. Clem's lower bracket match today has been moved to tomorrow. Sorry for anyone expecting to watch Clem today. It's just a player request. He said he could play today, but only before a certain time, and it was probably pretty reasonable for it to happen, but knowing my luck, if I said it was okay, then, you know, we probably end up with like a 2-hour-long series, and then it's not okay, right? So it's just better, easier, more consistent in terms of everyone being happy to just move that match to tomorrow. We were going to start 1 hour later tomorrow anyways, so we just add that match in, and we'll start at the same time as we have started today as well, so that's pretty much the plan. There's a couple of SCVs popping out. The probe is going to be heading back up the top side. And away we go. Gateway finishes. Cybercore going to begin to build. Just Marine already coming through here as we get set, ready to go. SCV nibbling away at this probe. Pushing that back just a little bit. In these early few moments. Actually, probe taking a lot of damage. Obviously, probe can just go home, and now the probe can come through, and uh-oh, it thought it was a Reaper, so the Marine will get the catch, the Marine will get the kill, and Proby does go down. The probe bites the bullets. Yeah, if it's the Reaper, then you can come back in, harass that CC building for just a few extra moments, right? But that was obviously just not the case there at all. If it's not a Reaper, it's a Marine, and then you run into trouble, like we just saw. Hey, concussive shells from ByuN, so bit of an aggressive opening. Gonna hide the Marauder in his natural, it seemed like initially, or in the in-base expand. Back of the natural, he's actually just gonna keep it at the front now as the first Adept is moving forward. If you can catch that Adept shading, as it shades in, you hide the Marauders until it shades, then you get the concussive shell on it. That's pretty much a kill, and that's usually quite nice because you can go across the map and usually do pretty well then. As Adept would like to shade right now, ByuN wants to basically avoid the vision of the Adept. The Adept actually sees it. The Adept walked in there instead of shading in there, so actually quite smart from the Adept to give him the best possible chance of getting out. Unfortunately, Marauders, with the second one showing up on time, is going to be enough to still get the kill before the shade away. But this is important information from MaxPax. The Adept has gained everything he needs to know, so now he can put a battery down. I don't really like this gateway at the front. I feel like that's just giving you an easy target and forces units to kind of walk out of battery range to defend the gates. I'm going to start a Dark Shrine from MaxPax. One Adept out right now. Warp Gate not quite done just yet. Obviously, battery will finish, and the Marauders will just kite away here. As the Adept takes a few extra shots. And like I say, you can kind of just hit this gateway. I suppose then eventually you don't believe these Marauders will ever actually kill the gate, but yeah, battery being drained. Obviously, ByuN would really just like to know about the fact that this is a Dark Shrine. That's information he completely lacks at the moment. Could he recognize it if he saw the robo, perhaps? Maybe. See the timing of that already being done, for example. Super Battery actually pops here to save the Adept. Gonna go back onto the gateway again for just a few moments. This is just a back and forth that continues for now. As the Adept and the Stalker together coming through, the Marauder still taking some additional shots. He's actually going to kill the Stalker here. That's actually kind of nice. Oh, and he sees the Prism. Seeing the Prism is a really big deal, because now you know the Prism's out and you're trying to put some pressure on. And he didn't see a Stalker for a very long time. I wonder if ByuN recognizes he's safe and scans. Yeah. I think ByuN recognizes here that this is very likely potentially something like DT's Engineering Bay 2. It seems more and more like he knows what's going on. He's got 2 scans saved up. Yeah, just seeing the Prism is a great confirmation. I just think as well, only seeing that one Adept for such a long time is also a huge part of what he did there. And come the DTs as one slices down a couple of SCVs already. And again, ByuN just needs to have the scan. He will scan here immediately. That's a kill. There's the one on the natural, so it's still going to get a few workers, but again, really not so bad. And like, he did have 2 scans, right? Yes. So this is a second DT kill. So pretty good to get the kills right. Whenever you're getting the kills with the DTs, it's pretty nice. Oh! Massive Widow Mine shot across the map delivers a huge connection. 12 probes. So he's undoing everything the DTs have done. Plus the DTs come at the cost of now 2 DTs already being dead and a 3rd DT dead as well. This is a huge cost. Obviously, ByuN finding that damage so much more easily. These mines are going to force a runaway, and he's not even ready to activate them just yet. Yep, that's cool play from ByuN, just more than Blossom mining time. And that is huge from ByuN, and this puts him into a stellar position at the start of game number 3. Absolutely. That's what he's looking for. Oh, sad if you lose this medevac, because those mines are still ready to fire. And yeah, just sad to take that extra damage as one Marine in the bunker probably doesn't defend here, but MaxPax's not going to risk the DT. There's turrets in both locations. He just can't really justify it, can he? Not really, no. Well, ByuN, is that just going to go across the map? I mean, as long as he has scans here, he should be pretty okay, right? So, we stem on forwards. I mean, the only thing that really defends this is DTs that can't be scanned. We get the tank siege up. We start targeting down the super battery, which is going to be coming online. We get forward here. The tank goes down, but it buys time for the bio just to sit here, and the probes have just been dropping already. And this is going to be a very good trade for ByuN once again, as he just comes on through, cleans on up, and it does look as though game number 3 is ByuN's. With this amount of damage dealt, yeah, there's a bit of DT harass going on the other side. MaxPax is doing what he can to try stay in this game. There's now a Raven out as well, so scans across the map are no longer as much of a problem. Just becomes less and less likely right now that we're seeing a way for MaxPax to kind of win this game. Down in workers, just not great. Just not any sort of kind of stuff that he wants to be seeing at the moment. Bio gets in, DT has to lift up, jump up into that prism, get away there for a few moments as well. Stalkers will hang out in the center. Just going to see the couple DTs. The Stalker continuing out as well. Another depot going down. Now Archon is going to be morphing. Charge and +1 continuing through as well. And just our Stalkers ready to maybe make a jump up in towards the main base. There you go. They jump on up. And there you go. Archon Stalker's going to go for a reactor. He's going to deny that on the starport then, which switches across over the other side. Turret across the map is now the way to get a few more probe kills apparently in both mineral lines. Forcing mineral lines to not be mining again, just constant value being found on the side of ByuN. And credit to MaxPax, he's kept up the harass, but he's taking so much damage throughout. How does he ever actually deal with the fact that this army of the Terran is so strong? +1 done. I mean, I guess he's about to have charge and +1 of his own, so maybe we shouldn't be too crazy about this specific push. We move in, just going to be able to get a gateway though for free, which is always a good start as well, right? Pylon, Cybercore, gateway. Doesn't even need to take a fight to do serious damage here, and At least charge is just finished, so warping in Zealots is somewhat reasonable, but you actually lose power to another gateway in the back, so this entire situation is just horrible for MaxPax right now. Just continuing to take losses, continuing to fall into a worse and worse position. Bio pushes up towards the top a little bit, couple medevacs heading down toward the center. Just still got this Raven behind the mineral lines as well, waiting to strike yet again, just looking for even more of this damage as we've already been talking about. Well, these Zealots do start to drop off, and just, again, can't really see how MaxPax wins these upcoming fights at all. Just can't really imagine it, unfortunately, as the medevac gets shot down. Bioforce pulls back around, going to come around the left here. I mean, if you can just find a way to jump this Colossus, which I feel like with this amount of units should absolutely be possible as well. It's not like this Colossus is super well defended. It's a Colossus and a group of Stalkers or so. It's really not great. Bioforce starts to push in. Gateway going to go down. Sentry's going down. Stalkers as well. So we've seen the Immortal dropping. We dive in. Colossus goes down. And just going to be seeing the Super Battery. It is going to be trying to make the hold. New Colossus popped out during this, so kind of nice, something useful. Drop a Matrix on it, and now it is useless as well, though. Across the map, oh, Prism just died. And there's a few Zealots that were getting a few workers, but again, overall, it's just not going to be enough to matter. And that is GG's. MaxPax takes a 2-1 lead. Number 4 of our best of 5 here in the opening match of today. 4 best of 5s lined up for you all. We kick this one off in the top right-hand side. The yellow Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion on match point. It is ByuN. Taking on the red Protoss player in the bottom left corner of the map. Psystorm Gaming's MaxPax brought it back from behind a game to level once. Can he do it again? That's what we are looking to try and find out. To get this set to rumble. Refinery coming down. Cracks already placed. Again, all of this set to begin here for the moment. Pretty reasonable so far. And obviously nothing too wild. We got an inside and out. Another shorter map. Definitely one the Terran can get some of those aggressive pushes on, akin to what we saw ByuN do on Waterfall maybe a little bit. There's definitely some options there, so some stuff we can, like I say, watch out for, I'm sure. Once we get this all set up and underway. The side core comes down over to the side here. Gets that started immediately. Going to start morphing that orbital in. And the next is coming through. Cybercore coming up. CC dropping down on that natural as well. So all of this coming online for the moment at least. Yeah, nice peaceful start. Nothing too wild, nothing too crazy. What's up, everybody in the chat? How are we feeling today? Hope you're all doing good. Again, thanks so much for joining us right at the start for some StarCrafts. Really appreciate it. And hopefully we can continue with some fun stuff as the day goes on. Well, like I said, yesterday's games really were fun. A lot of TVZ, some fun Raynor games. Hoping today is going to deliver as well. Like I said, I'm a little bit biased in this first match because I do just want to see ByuN get to the winners, and that just means we don't have double TVT in the lower bracket, so that's the only reason why. That's my tiny bit of bias for any of the matches today, basically. Anything else I don't really mind too much, but yeah, just want to see maybe that non-double TVT in the lower bracket. I feel like that'd be great. I know you guys like to complain about TVT, and 2 best of 5 TVTs. I can get behind watching something a bit different than that. So, a variety of matchups, absolutely cheering on ByuN a little bit here. He leads 2-1. But either way, I mean, MaxPax Ragnarok would be really fun as well. I feel like Kelazur and Spirit have had pretty good TVT lately too, so if it does become ByuN dropping down to that lower bracket, it's a real toss-up as to who actually makes it through. 2 SCVs will repair this Helene, and that will keep this alive. The Tep was like, I'm going to start getting out of here. Then it's like, wait, I'm shading forwards. No! And this entire fight goes down. 3 Marines with 2 Adepts. Don't think ByuN minds that all too much. Obviously, as long as he can survive further aggression, this is an extra gate. 2 coming down, so this is going to be into 3 gates of pressure, so quite a lot of pressure, really. And that might be the problem more than anything else, is now that he only really has, I guess, a few extra Marines on the way, but no bunker. So he's killed the first 2 adepts, probably doesn't feel like he needs a bunker. This Hellion's about to see maybe a little bit of what's up. Stalker will start to shoot it. I think that's going to be too late of a scout to really tell you too much about what you want to be dealing with here. He sees the gates finish now. He is going to have high ground. He does have a Cyclone as well. Cyclone's a pretty big deal in this scenario. Kill the adepts, so the shades for high ground vision are no longer a thing. He can save this Cyclone in the medevac. I was going to say that was leaving it till the very last second, but ByuN's micro is there. Saves the Cyclone, and now can get it repaired. Got a Stalker killed too, and this already feels like it's actually turned out to be pretty good for ByuN. I was absolutely worried about him initially just because he didn't quite know and stuff, but with the Cyclone out, just gives you that real fighting unit, and he's going to get himself another Stalker kill. That means going up this ramp and fighting next to this pylon is going to become that much easier. Another Stalker locked onto here. The Stalkers are not hitting the Cyclone, unfortunately. We do kill the Cyclone now. The Marines want to try and grab those Stalker. That's low HP. One Marine will get boosted forward. The medevac is able to get out of there. It just takes one shot, and that's going to be enough. And yeah, now we can come back and deal with this pylon if we want to, although the medevac looks like it may keep on pressuring. Tanking a couple Marines back at home for the moment as well. MaxPax, he's going to take his third base. The Stalker's moving into the main, very wary of the fact this could be the drop heading in here, and ByuN, seeing the Stalkers, is immediately going to pull his drop away as well. So both players playing correctly there. ByuN positioning, MaxPax positioning well. Oh, he's going to get intercepted on his way home. Full medevac of Marines is dead. Great catch from MaxPax. Swings things maybe a bit back into his favor. Just 10 supply caught there and killed. And yeah, ByuN not expecting this to still be Stalkers out on the map, basically. So yeah, cool little engagement between the two, right? Good little interaction one way, then the other. MaxPax definitely comes out on top of it, getting that medevac kill. Not deadly enough that ByuN's in like serious trouble, but definitely to the point where, you know, ByuN maybe loses a bit of opportunity to keep on attacking. Maybe has to sit back a bit now, just rely on very light harassment. I mean, that medevac was obviously some of his harassment, and there's also going to be this Raven that's now heading across the map to harass also. And that Raven out to the other side should be pretty effective as we have stimming combat shields coming in. We saw the Raven in that earlier game as well. It was just the last one, right? Moondance really just showing up and just causing so much trouble in so many mineral lines. He's going to wait with this one too, probably hit 2 mineral lines at once again, just try and make it so it's difficult to have units in position. He's going to drop one here. He's 5, 6, 7 energy away from the second one, and MaxPax no response straight away. Will lose 3 probes. Oh, that probe nearly got to the battery, in fact, but it's not quite enough. As drop one in the corner here as well. A couple of zealots warped in, so have to walk over there. ByuN's auto turret is target firing, so he gets another 3 probes. Full scout of the main base as well with the Raven, so he gets complete information to work with from here on out. Again, just can't really be too upset, right? I mean, you're getting all the info you could possibly want. 6 probes went down, and that just keeps MaxPax very much so in reach when it comes to the economies. Yeah. Feels very good for ByuN. There's 2 medevacs. But down the right side, Stalker is going to ping and going to go after that medevac right there. So try to deal some damage. That Stalker does get picked off. Got a hallucination into the main base to try and see what's going on as well. Medevac getting shot down straight away. Thanks, ByuN. Coming through, just going to get forward and pick off a pylon. Obviously, that pylon's been there a while. I was kind of surprised it got left alive. Usually, you kind of just hunt that down so quickly as the Terran player. Just take a pylon down, right? Force your opponent to make a new one right away. It's never a bad thing to be doing. MaxPax has gone into that early Stormer game, so we've seen this earlier too. That's what helped him win out on Waterfall. And ByuN just definitely left a little bit to the imagination when his splits just weren't really on point in that game, so it could have been a little bit better. Definitely could have kept him in a better spot for sure. As the depots dropping down, trying to choke up this area as well, trying to create a filter that Zealots might run through. Kills his own depot with a tank-friendly fire. One Zealot going the other way. Tanks are not the best against Zealots. We'll always say this, but enough of them is still not exactly a fun idea to attack into for the Protoss player. Raven did die during all of this as well, by the way, guys. So if you're wondering where that is, it is gone, dealt with. Probably got feedbacked and something like that. Didn't actually see what went down. Since Tower will be picked off here. So losing this. Again, just little bits and pieces. Don't feel like MaxPax will get too much done overall in this fight, but just about doing enough at the moment to kind of keep things going, right? This guy is scaring ByuN. He's going to get himself his expansion up behind this. He's going to get himself his Colossus tech behind this. He's going to have the 2 sets of different splash damage. It's a nice initial EMP that just scares you away completely as MaxPax. There's no way you want to commit into that after that happens, so the storm goes down, but just on a few Marauders as well, so really not that crazy. As we get ourselves set up at the top side. So Zealots go down straight away. Again, just lots of posturing. I think ByuN was good to be scary enough there to keep MaxPax away from him. It can get dangerous, it can get tricky very quickly if you're not careful in those scenarios, so good to see ByuN is able to keep his cool and not give MaxPax the opportunity to fight in. It's funny, I mean, this position here for MaxPax is hard to push through, but then ByuN was making this direction hard to push through as well by having the depots and stuff choking up. You know, either way you go, it's going to end up being fighting, you know, you're going to end up fighting through a choke point no matter what, right? So, definitely a little rough as we do see this force of MaxPax moving forward again. A little mine shot going off. We will drop an EMP down. Now a big storm going in towards the Bioforce also, though. Marine nibbling its way through the Zealots. Can these Zealots make something happen? As we get one Marine straight away, just going to keep on popping through. Pylon going to go down. Nexus is going to be dropping as well. Just going to be seeing our Colossi helping to clean up there. That one Colossus actually took some damage. I feel like he almost friendly fired. Didn't see exactly what happened. The Colossi just fired at something, but it looked like that Colossus took some hits, no? SCV's going down. Little Zealot run by was successful. As ByuN setting up his 4th base. Viking count is very good, and that's actually quite important now. Because obviously you're fighting a Colossus, but also even shooting down the Prism could be a big deal as those High Templars still hiding out in there. Let's see this fight starting now. The Vikings, I feel like, are going to die very quickly here, though. Storm going down. The splits are really good, and the EMP was perfect on the High Templar. Oh, ByuN has a lot left over after that fight. That was not good for MaxPax. The Prism did die. The EMP, like I say, was absolutely spot on, getting rid of the rest of the Storm energy for the Templar as well. Really well done. And this is just going to be seeing a couple Disruptors still coming by, rallying up to the top. Keep on looking to push out at the top of the map here, if at all possible. Grab a Widow Mine. That was some intentional target firing. Friendly firing. Both players are going to get maxed again. ByuN's defensive fights so far have been good, but you gotta remember, MaxPax has got 89 probes, and it's kind of just being left to mine away. There's not really much harass coming down the other side. It's good EMPs again, but the Disruptor shot actually lands big time. Like ByuN wasn't really respecting the fact there was a Disruptor there. Wanted to dive through for it in that scenario as well, but just can't quite get it, unfortunately. Still down over this side. You're going to see a Bioforce hitting a few of the Zealots. The Vikings actually going to start out and hit a few of these Colossi down as well. Actually will get a kill. I mean, kind of nice. We had 5 Colossus, which is kind of crazy. You know, it's a lot of firepower for the Colossus. It definitely justifies you continuing to build Vikings here as ByuN. He's on double Starport as well. Yeah, I wouldn't see it. Mind seeing like 10 to 12 Vikings, although currently just maxed out. Another Disruptor shot that lands pretty heavily. These tanks, well, unfortunately, the Disruptors do not hit all of them at once. The tanks don't target fire at all, though. I think ByuN is losing this fight pretty heavily, though. Just a few Marauders left over. He cleans out all the Colossi, but he needs SimCity to be on his side right now. He's got another Disruptor showing up, and you know, those Disruptors actually did okay. Okay, that Disruptor nearly tried to blow up the Protoss army, which wouldn't have been very friendly. Would have been kind of nasty. SCV's pulling in. Disruptors are getting rid of them as they pull forward. ByuN just trying to hold this position, but it just isn't quite happening. And the EMP or 2 going down, and yeah, these ghosts are now going to be killed off as well. Interesting fight, right? Kind of felt like it fell apart very quickly here, unfortunately for ByuN. Have a quick rewind and just have a look at this, because I felt like ByuN was playing pretty okay defensively, was in an alright spot. It already started at this point, this fight. It starts out... EMP is decent initially. I think it's just the disruptor shot does way too much. ByuN's ahead in army supply at the start here. He comes in, the Vikings start onto the cross line. That disruptor shot, I actually didn't see that one be quite as big on the right-hand side. That disruptor shot was huge. I was looking at the tanks at that point in time. Yeah, that disruptor shot on the right was absolutely massive. My goodness. I was wondering, it just felt like ByuN's army was... And there's one map sets these two away from the winner bracket semi-finals. Again, that is going to be against Ragnarok. Yeah, you got to look at this and say that both these players are very capable of taking down Ragnarok as well. So obviously a great chance for them to just get to the winner bracket finals and be top 3 of this event. Lower bracket is not going to be fun, especially considering this is round 1. You know, and you know, you're going to have to go through Kelazur, Spirit, potentially Clem. Well, it's just a streak of tough Terran players, and they only get more difficult as the, you know, matches go by. So yeah, it definitely feels like this is going to be one which is going to be important to win. MaxPax top right will be our blue Protoss player. He takes on the red Terran in the bottom left-hand corner. Shopify Rebellion's ByuN. Again, getting to go all the way in this first match of the day. Tropical Sacrifice as a map as well is kind of a fun one. Try to see if I can follow anyone's camera for a minute while I stand up and stretch my legs, but 2 of them are following me, and one of them is just zooming in. One of the other episodes is just randomly zooming in on the Nexus still. Not ideal. I guess I'll sit back down. CV just going to go pushing the probe out. And Slavic Core still coming through. Planning on the assimilator coming online. Factory coming up as well. As we head across to the top right side here from MaxPax. Zealot coming across the map, look to apply some early pressure. ByuN CC in base, it's just trying to be safe, doesn't want to fall early on, doesn't want to take too much damage to MaxPax that comes knocking on his front door and tries to dish out a whole bunch of damage, right? So, gonna try our best to avoid that at all costs, as the Zealot still hanging around over on the left. It's all coming around the bottom. The Adept's going to be coming over here as well. I'll start pushing up this ramp as the Hellion and the few Marines will be able to poke their way around on that Adept. Warp Gate about halfway done. Blink is coming up. Again, just a few Marines and the Hellion here will be continuing to fight just a little bit. And take some damage. It's going to go down. Quite a lot of Marines. Love that he's talking firing an Adept. The Zealot will go down no matter what, but the Adepts, of course, can get away. So, good to get that Adept targeted early and make your way through that. As this Adept going to shade up the ramp. And again, just keep an eye on those Marines, see if they're moving back. And it's also a bit of pressure. It's like, hey, look, my Adept could shade in if you're not there. Obviously, the medevac starts to move out, and that's the sort of thing the Adept wants to see. If those Marines are still there or not. That's what this Adept shit is really going to be looking for. And all the way up here, sees a couple of the Marines. Cancels the shade. Does he actually know, though? 2 Stalkers in the main base ramp. Yeah, there's going to be a couple probes going down. You see the probe here going to give this a little bit of an extra boost in terms of spotting this early. Yeah, it's going to be 1, 2 probes. You can kind of fight the Stalkers a little bit. Obviously, most important here is you keep the Marines, the medevac alive. So we're going to get rid of just the 1 Stalker. Okay, now the medevac's going to die. A little bit messy on that micro. Now we probably just go for probes, no? Yeah, we got 3 workers, we got 2 Stalkers, but the medevac went down. I don't hate it because you got an extra Stalker. Like I said, I think the medevac's the one thing you typically would try and keep alive here, but really committed the medevac. I wonder if he could have just flown the medevac out, though, because I don't even know if the healing really made much of a difference there. MaxPax on 3 gates with Blink finished. We'll look to apply some amount of pressure. ByuN's first siege tank is on the low ground. Second tank, very close to finishing. Let's see if MaxPax can find the positions and find the openings to deal some damage with this, or if he's just going to get blocked off and shut down straight away. Stalkers are going to be very quick, just jumping straight into this main base. Going to go grab the supply depot here, and again, just going to be seeing our reactor going down on these starports, just getting that set up. Auto turret over here comes through. A couple probes, 2, 3 probes, all going down. So 3 workers get picked up. Yeah, I mean, that's nice. Obviously, the Raven's still alive in the corner there as well, so it can come back for more later as we keep up the pressure. One thing about this map, it's kind of large, definitely very macro favorable, and definitely could invite another one of those games where MaxPax gets up to Disruptors. And so far, the 2 games ByuN's lost. He lost to not splitting well against Storms, and he lost to not splitting well against Disruptors. So, you know, a map that encourages the Protoss play to get to that sort of stage is definitely feeling pretty good based on what's happened so far in this series for MaxPax. Tanks will continue to press forward. Couple tanks starting to fire. Stalkers have to try and blink back toward the end there. Just gonna see that Marine tank army making its way out across the right-hand side. Couple of probes are again taken down again. Auto turret. Don't tell me it finds 4. It does only get 3. This is kind of a weird push though from ByuN. I mean, he has no healing on this army. The medevac's just not here at all. Tanks will siege. Stalkers want to blink away. I just don't know, man. Storm's about to be finished. This seems like a group of Marines that are going to be very much so on their own, and now we're starting to drop across the map. I get that ByuN was maybe eager to get here. Maybe a bit of fake pressure even from ByuN. Maybe even kind of happy just to kind of fake the fact that he's so confident right now. You can see that first Storm looking to come down. The Raven sat in the corner. Not much to add just yet. The medevac's heading to the main. You know what? I really feel like MaxPax believes there's way more here than there actually is. Because your Marines will just sit in the back. And don't get me wrong, I don't think this trade is necessarily great for ByuN, but the drop in the main, potential to do huge amounts of damage. MaxPax will not see it unloading either. Does he start to send units back over there just freely? No. That's 1 pylon powering all of those gateways. If ByuN recognizes that, he can stop so many warpins for quite a bit of time. Okay, this pylon came online, but it only saves 1 of the gates. He's going to start talking to Cybercore. I feel like now it's not really ideal. We're going to drop a Storm here as well. We'll lift. We'll get out with this medevac. Oh my goodness, he stopped for a second. I don't think he was convinced he was going to get out alive. Auto turret's going to come down again and just start to fight the Stalker. It blinks into a battery. Raven gets out alive. So at least you can maybe keep that Raven alive for later. This low HP medevac getting out of here as well and is heading back down to the bottom left corner of the map. So it's getting away. As is everything else. Ghost Academy still coming up. Command Center going to lift up. Float down to the natural. Or the 3rd base, sorry. Little Sian picks off the obs. ByuN about 9 workers behind. Army supply is still looking pretty good for him. Obviously, MaxPax losing these gateways for a little bit just slows down that production by a little. Maybe gives him time to add a couple extra on. So he did spend his money, but he will have absolutely missed a round of warp-ins. So again, then you have to have spent your money on something else during that time, typically. That's how it works. See ByuN actually trying to start up a bit of a fight. No Ghost Academy or anything, just heading into Widow Mine, so doesn't really have EMPs to help him out. He does have +1 against 0-0. Uh-oh. Yeah, those SCVs are in trouble, though, and he's going to be set. Oh, no, 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 oh my god, there's a storm there. He does split away from it. The SCVs are away from now. He will save the base. Ghosts are on the way out. I feel like he really wants to wait for that. What's this? The Raven coming back in across the map, try and get some more damage done. The SCVs might want to start turning around here. Oh, there's going to be a massive storm. They get a couple of storms going down. I think that's all the storms available. I guess the High Temple have been around for a while. Okay, this one's still full of energy, actually. As ByuN trying to hold here. I mean, he's starting to lose SCVs, but he's got 1-1 against 0-0, and now he's got an EMP available for the Archons as well, and I think that's a massive deal, or maybe even just for the High Temple. That storm wasn't ideal. The SCVs want to try and get back. They don't really want to go to the natural, though, because they're going to end up running through this army. Surely not? Oh my goodness. So the SCVs actually going to get back to the base? They actually kind of are. Wow. Okay. 17 SCVs lost. The Raven finds 7 probes, so we're undoing some of the damage that's being dealt. It's still no upgrades from MaxPax. He warps in 4 more High Templar, but ByuN now has Ghosts in play. If these are for Archons, there's an answer to them. And this time around, each High Templar is not going to have 2 storms each. So there's way less splash damage to work with here. Obviously, ByuN just on 2 bases. MaxPax seeing everything because of this Observer. ByuN pretty quick to stim forward there. Grabs a Stalker and happy to just kind of keep sitting here and kind of trading out for a unit or 2. MaxPax obviously just happy to have ByuN on 2 bases, not comfortable moving out. EMPs have to be very good from ByuN when he gets the chance to launch them. See an extra round of Zealots just getting warped in, being pulled across. That scan just misses this Obs, which is a real shame. Here you have again a few EMPs available. Here's that first storm coming down. Honestly, not that great. Could have been a lot better. That storm was a lot better. Still an EMP right there at the front. This Ghost is going to drop. I mean, obviously, it's just small EMPs as well, though. ByuN pulling back. Not sure how much energy these Ghosts have. None for a EMP. He's going to have a couple more EMPs right now. He can get the casts off. Drops 1 cast. I think 1 Ghost died without getting the ability set off. I believe we're out of storms, though. Oh, that's the last storm. Okay, but ByuN's chasing forward. He's going to get a couple Archons at least. If not, oh, can he catch that one? If with Stim, he could. Prism should turn around and save this, surely. Oh my god, he's going to let that Archon die, ByuN. Oh, I mean, the Raven showing up too. Low HP is going to get pushed away. Obviously, this is a lot better for ByuN now because it means that he's actually out of his base, and he was obviously really cornered in on his base, so there's a big chance those storms land. MaxPax and ByuN are playing a very tense game as MaxPax is making the switch over to this Colossus play as well. ByuN's Medivacs, low HP, low energy. As he gets to the right side, he hits the Prism. He thinks this High Templar inside. There's not. There's actually no storms right now for MaxPax. His splash damage is inside 1 Colossus, basically. 1 Colossus of splash, and that is about it right now. I don't think ByuN will find a fight, though. As, ooh, 2 Vikings and a Raven heading down to the south. Might be able to do okay, but ByuN has to run away over here. Widowmine killed before it gets to Burrow. Actually, 1 Widowmine does go off. We missed the Prism, so the Vikings do not catch the Prism as it moves down the side. He knows it's over here, though. He might still intercept it. He sees it. He sees it. ByuN, if he's paying attention, knows the Prism's there. That shouldn't be able to get a warp-in off. And that's huge because obviously a warp-in would have been really bad. He's got a Matrix, I believe, as well, so you can Matrix if it tries to warp in. Just going to recall it, and ByuN obviously will not get a kill on that as he pulls back away. I mean, there's been a tense few moments on both sides. MaxPax pushing ByuN's army back as well, doing a great job there. ByuN's economy just was hurting for so long. Being stuck without that 3rd base for a while, I think really affected him more than he would have liked. And it feels as though MaxPax now probably is going to have the numbers necessary to start making some progress towards a W in this game number 5. Armies are still decent across the board. I mean, MaxPax, no storms available. No armor upgrade either. No +2 attack just yet. All these things which he's currently kind of missing and kind of wants. Going up to a 5th base, though, and again, it's that economy that ByuN can't really contest with. So ByuN either... I feel like ByuN either fights this army like right now, or he plays very defensive, and he hopes he can kind of fight the army a bit further down the line. Prism is back. The Vikings on the way over there. I think they get there in time to cancel it. No, he just turned the... ByuN! That's really painful. Great for MaxPax. He's going to have a massive warping into the main base. That was absolutely deniable. I mean, the ByuN units turned back around. I guess he wanted the Vikings over here as he wants to hunt down Colossus, but I actually think killing the Prismov would have been nice because his entire army could have stayed here. Holy crap, though. This is a fight for ByuN. That anti-armor missile is putting in work. Everything is melting. There's going to be a Disruptor showing up, though, and if ByuN's not paying attention to this army, the Disruptor actually misses. He misses the huge shot. It could have been insane. It wasn't really that crazy in the end. The Stalkers will busy themselves with the Viking. No, the Viking's going to be left alive, so the Colossus will not go down. You're kidding me. 2 HP on the Colossus. Only 9 SCVs died. Absolute scenes as these armies trade out. My goodness. Chaos across the board. ByuN gets back. Man, I mean, it was a good fight. The Disruptor could have done so much more. This Colossus living is massive for MaxPax as well. Just keeping a little bit of extra splash online obviously goes a pretty decent way to helping out. ByuN in the middle of the map. He can't fight this amount of Zealots, I think, is the big issue. He has no splash to really deal with those. Disruptors has to be kited away from as well. He does get the Vikings to finish the Colossus off at least, so finally finding that after the earlier mishap. MaxPax just has 84 workers, guys. Doesn't matter how well you're trading against 84 workers, the income is just high. Bases keep coming online. ByuN's getting a 4th base at the very least, so you'll keep some amount of income going. I guess this graph will not be super out of reach for ByuN then for at least a little bit longer. Disruptor shot isn't going to be close enough. ByuN stepped forward there. He's getting pushed back by the Disruptors every time. He's going to lift the CC. I believe there's 1 Disruptor shot remaining. MaxPax being very patient with dropping it, though. I actually used all of the Disruptor shots. They were all on cooldown there. And there's the next one at some point as ByuN again has to dodge back out of the reach of this one. MaxPax, though, big warp in of 11 Zealots. And those are the things that ByuN just can't be dealing with. Again, just continuing to lose out on economy every single time, it feels like. Just becoming extremely costly as the Disruptors are reset, so we've got to play this dodging game yet again. Good split here. And again, MaxPax probably can't get up the ramp, but there's so much more to this than just getting up the ramp. ByuN is again just constantly having to dance. He's not dealing any damage of his own. I mean, a drop across the map as he accidentally loads up that medevac, but a drop across the map, something on the other side would be great. It's just looking to be very tough, and if MaxPax can get up a ramp and really bully ByuN with the Disruptors, and this is going to be very bad. That was a very late EMP coming through too. MaxPax looking as though he might be able to swarm through for victory right now. EMPs are definitely available, but how much can they really achieve? We lose a Ghost there as this one connects. Bottom right side, base still mining. Just going to be seeing the rest of this army of MaxPax coming down here. The Zealots will start to charge forward. Widowmine shot will connect on a few Zealots. EMPs trying to land. I mean, ByuN just doesn't have enough at all. MaxPax has done it. And what a crazy game. ByuN definitely behind for a while. And MaxPax just had that one fight, really, where he really got himself very ahead. And just kept ByuN away from his third. ByuN not being able to mine that entire time was very painful. Very costly. And MaxPax will go to the winner bracket semifinals.